Hi, I'm Daniela, and this is Jocelyn. Thanks for coming back to our channel.
To give a quick recap, my wife and I have been married since March of 2020, and we've been trying to conceive since October of 2020. And this is our story.
Many of you have probably noticed that we haven't been posting much in the last couple of months, so we figured we'd just get everything out in the open and let you know where we've been, what's been going on as we get back into filming more regular videos.
It wasn't that we ran out of things to talk about or gave up on trying to conceive.
The truth of the matter is that we were really caught up in just the awfulness of unexplained infertility. It can bring you a lot of dread and hopelessness.
And as much as we love sharing our story in hopes to helping others, that constant bad news and heartache is really hard to keep going sometimes. When I'm drowning in those feelings, my initial instinct is to retreat and hide myself away. And after failed IUI, that was my instinct. I just needed to retreat.
Yeah.
In the last video that we did create, we were preparing for our fourth IUI.
I think around that time is when we hit a new level of hard. Hours after our fourth IUI attempt, we were in a car accident and someone hit us and totaled our car. We did take a trip to the emergency room and we were examined. Everything was okay. We just had a lot of bumps and bruises, but unfortunately our brand new car was totaled and we were just left in a really rough place. We felt like we had so much riding on this fourth IUI, and with this incident occurring, it just felt like the whole world was against us.
To get a more in-depth look at the different types of artificial insemination, check out the link above. We spent about a year trying to conceive at home, and when that didn't work, we agreed to try 4 IUIs with a fertility clinic before going back to the drawing board and reconsidering a new game plan. So a few weeks later, when we found out that our 4th attempt at IUI failed, it was beyond devastating.
For most people in our situation, you understand IVF to be the next route in your conception journey. And even though I was officially diagnosed with endometriosis and unexplained infertility, IVF is not covered by our insurance and just makes that a little out of reach for us.
As we mentioned in some of our previous videos, we did a lot of research when it came to the financial responsibilities of each type of artificial insemination. And for our unique situation, it would cost about $25,000 to join the IVF program we were interested in. And even with loans, that was way too far out of reach.
So after our 4th IUI failed, it just really felt like we hit a dead end.
My headspace during this time was pretty dark. I immediately went to catastrophizing and I was just emotionally spent. I really wondered if we should keep trying or if this was just the end. Should we kind of wave our white flag? Wasn't really sure where to go from there.
On the other hand, I refused to let go of hope. We had already faced the reality that we weren't going to do IVF, but at this point we did have one more vial of perfect sperm waiting for us at this new clinic. Being that we had that vial and we weren't saving it for IVF, the doctor recommended we try one more cycle of IUI and kind of beef up what we were doing.
So that looked like stronger medications, more medications that were injectable, doing them for longer periods of time, or taking medication for longer periods of time, more monitoring and blood work, kind of just more vigorous IUI to really try to hope that something sticks.
Yeah, they called it a super IUI cycle.
After running through a bunch of different scenarios, we decided, well, try the 5th IUI, and if it comes to not working, then we can go back to the endo specialist and learn more about the surgery to try to see if that helps. This felt like the best option for us.
So putting surgery back on the table was a big option for us. When we talked to the endometriosis specialist, like we said before, there was like 50-50 chance. It could help, it could not help, it could make things worse, it could make things better. So that's why we decided to wait till after IUI, and once we've exhausted all our options, we really had nothing to lose at that point.
So the 5th IUI took place in July, and I think this was probably the most memorable. Not because it was the super IUI, but because the doctor actually let me be a part of the insemination process once he lined everything up and got the catheter. And is it a catheter?
Yeah, something like that.
Lined up where it needs to go, then he let me inject the sample into Daniela. So I felt like I was part of the process more than I had been in the past.
Yeah, it felt really special and like, oh my God, it's gonna work this time because you got to take part in it. Yeah. My hormones were friggin' crazy because we had done a lot more injectable medications than we had done in the past, and I was definitely feeling
it. Yeah, but it went pretty fast. I feel like the 5th IUI kind of.
Unfortunately, even though we had all of that excitement and we felt all of that good juju, it still did not work.
At that point, although we were really heartbroken, we didn't feel as devastated because we had that backup plan. We knew it probably wouldn't work, and if it didn't, at least we have a direction to go to, which would be the endo specialist again.
Yeah, although we started really regretting not scheduling surgery the first time we had a consult with her because, like, she was scheduling surgery 4 months out. So I'm like, now, how long is it going to take for us to actually get surgery? But that was the next step.
This meant another consult with the endo specialist, which wasn't available to us till the end of August. And although we had a direction we were going in, it was really hard to wait, especially when I felt like all summer long I was just seeing birth announcements and pregnancy announcements, and I was super happy for all my friends, but it was really hard for me to get out of my own headspace and get out of the negative sides of the experience that we were having.
Yeah. It really was everyone, friends, family, coworkers, every single person you ever knew on social media. So
yeah, it was really
definitely
hard.
Tough. Don't get us wrong. We were really happy for these people. It was just really difficult to feel happiness for somebody else when we were in so much pain. So the good news about this appointment is that this time Jocelyn was able to come in for the consultation. She was able to meet the doctor and have a conversation and listen to the pros and cons of the surgery. We discussed we wanted to move forward, signed all the paperwork. Now, the bad news was we had to wait another 2 weeks just to get scheduled for surgery. And the doctor was pretty clear that we probably weren't getting surgery until November to January. I was pretty adamant that I really wanted to go before November, but she was like, no way that's happening.
Of course, my mind jumps immediately back to catastrophizing. If we have to wait 6 months for the surgery and then 1 or 2 months for the recovery, then my mind's like another year before we're trying, and Bella's going to be this age and we're going to be this age and this is what's going on, and I'm just in a spiral and I'm stuck. As much as I prepared for this to be the exact outcome, after this second appointment with the specialist, I could still feel I wasn't prepared for this outcome.
Yeah. We did really like our doctor, and we did carefully select this person. So we knew that ultimately it was the best decision to wait, and that we probably wouldn't get in anywhere else sooner. So this was our only next step. When we received the initial diagnosis of unexplained infertility, we knew that this would affect, obviously, our fertility and ability to have a child, but we didn't expect that it would affect us so much financially, mentally. It affected our relationships, our intimacy with each other, even our personal relationships with our bodies and our physical health and mental health. It has definitely taken a toll.
One of the worst parts for me with all of this was that I wanted to be this like beacon of light and share our experience with everyone, but I couldn't find the light within myself anymore. And I just couldn't fathom sharing this side of our experience on our channel.
Really hard to wake up every day thinking about the way we were feeling, and even like presenting ourselves in front of our family, being strong for our daughter, showing up to work every day. So then to take the extra step and figure out what we're going to say to everybody with this face of defeat, like, it just felt impossible.
Yeah, that compacted with me trying to finish up my grad school and find a job, and it just felt like everything was just kind of weighing down all at once.
A lot of pressure at once.
For sure. I needed to step back, to refocus, and to reframe myself.
Yep. We started, trying to do things that got ourselves into a happy place. Visiting the beach, going into the ocean, going to the bay, finding a new hobby.
And that's how we found our way back to you. Because creating this content, although it has its challenges, has also been really helpful to work through and process. And as utterly terrifying as it feels to share the more vulnerable and what I feel like more uglier sides of this experience, I think that could also be helpful too. Our content might look and feel a little different as we continually attempt to grow.
So continue to join us along this raw and turbulent journey.
Please make sure to like and subscribe.
In our next video, we're going to share with you more about our surgery consultation, surgery itself, the date, and what we plan to do with ourselves while we wait.
Remember, if you find yourself struggling, your feelings are valid, you are worthy, and you're not on this path alone.
We will be right here with you. If there are any topics you would like us to discuss or get into, definitely let us know. We're always happy to do some new research and share new information. Feel free to follow us and reach out on any of our social media channels. I can't wait to share what we have upcoming with you.
See you soon.